1, 2, 3. Roll a dice. Ah.
Okay, let's do this. Check it out. Chaos Marauders Army Reinforcement Set. I've been waiting for it. Can finally get my Walls of the Sea kind of more completed than they were. But yes, reinforcements of some absolutely awesome looking Marauders. And so many in the box. I haven't opened it yet. I've just broke the seals. So they've just come in for the stores. They're up for pre-order on Saturday. And yeah, I'm going to open one up because I'm having one for a store copy because they look cool. Plus, I've got so many of the bare-chested He-Man old ones that I'm just so glad that there's some newer, cooler ones. And I'm sure there's a bunch of Age of Sigmar Slaves to Darkness players that are probably going to be stealing these as well. So my plan is hopefully to use the mounted horsemen as the Huskarls, because the Huskarls are supposed to be cooler and more heavily armored and better than the normal horsemen. So I'm going to use the normal horsemen as normal horsemen. And then, yeah, going to make these dudes into the Huskarls. That'd be really cool. I'm not sure about the foot guys, because I don't know what to do with all the He-Man dudes. I guess I could just convert them down into the Berserkers, but I don't know, because they've actually, with the new book as well, so the Arcane Journal is in. I'm not going to show it off, but I will just say that there are 2 new profiles in the book for Horsemen and for Marauders. Now, I don't have my old one to hand, but I'm fairly sure that the Marauders, yeah, so the Marauders can now replace Close Order with Skirmishers for free. So, yeah, I might use the old ones as just all of my old ones as Berserkers and use the new ones as Chaos Marauders. So there's 40 Marauders in the box, so 2 units of 20, 4 units of 10, or 1 unit of 40, whatever you want to do. And there are 10 horsemen in the box as well. Not talking about price because we don't talk about price until pre-orders go live. But yeah, thought we'd have a look at the sprues. Why not? Really, really excited for this, to be fair. So I don't run any Chaos Warriors in my Chaos Warriors army. I would just run Marauders. So what have we got? Tonoplastic. And a lot of bases. Oh, those bases are bigger. That's interesting. Very interesting. Fairly sure that they are much bigger than the standard Marauder bases. Quick squiz in the book a minute. Let's have a look. Just in case anyone asks. So Marauders are 30 by 30, so they're on 30 mil, and the Marauder Horsemen are on 30 by 60 bases. That's interesting. You have to have a look at that. So a hefty book of instructions. We'll take a look at that in a minute. Plop that over there, and let's have a look. So Horseman sprues. Let's get the Horsemen out of the way. It's so strange seeing Marauders on new sprues. So weird. So I'm going to take the Horsemen away a sec. And then let's get the Marauders out. We'll move the box out of the way. So that base change is interesting. I did have a quick look through the book, and there's some pretty cool stuff in there. There's the like Path to Glory, so 500 points starting sort of thing, with some rules for leveling up your dudes with XP and other bits and pieces, which is pretty cool. It's using the, what's it called, Battle March rules from the War, etc. So I know a lot of people thought that maybe the Path to Glory was only going to be for Chaos, but it's not. It is for everybody. So that's pretty cool. Now I'm going to quickly just see how many different sprues there are. So it shouldn't take long by the look of it. Because, oh, I apologise for my jumbling about of things, but let's have a quick look. So I'll reduce them down and move them in a moment. So 3 of them. Three of them. I'm going to guess. Oh, no. 4 of them. 4 of each sprue. Could be. Yeah, right. So 4 sprues the same. So let's take 1 of each of them away. Stack them back up. Chuck them on the back. And let's do a little zoomy zoom. Have a look. And yes, the gloves are back on. It's bloody freezing here in Plymouth. So what's this? This looks like we've got the standard. Okay. So it does look. This is going to be interesting to build them. So straight off the bat, I will see if we can get this on camera. You can see that they are very much new GW styly because there's a skull, a ram skull here with a hand connected to it. As you can see, I don't know, you should be able to just see now that Marauder body there. So there's a neck and half a body. So I'm gonna assume some limited posability here because there's also a body here with half. So he's got his whole chest, nope, his whole back missing. I'm assuming for a cape. So it's going to be interesting to build. I can see, just from a quick glance as well, we've got 1 head, 2 head, 3 head, 4 head, 5 heads, 6 heads, 7, 8, 9, 10. 9. So 9 heads alone on that sprue, and actually they look really cool. I apologise. It's probably going to struggle today to actually see that properly, but I just want a first impression really on what we're getting on the sprues. The shields are really cool. They're massive. Oh, another head there. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So what's that put? So I've got 13 separate heads so far. And the head connection points are all flat at the back, so it doesn't look like you've going to have any of those stupid can only be put on certain body heads as well. So we've got flails and great weapons. Looks like the handles for the flails and the great weapons are shared. Yes, because we've got heads there and heads there for the flails. That's pretty cool. I'm undecided on flails. To be honest, might end up going great weapon. And then what's on the other sprue here? So I'm going to have a quick check who the heads. 1 head here, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So good chance there's about 18 heads on there. I see a lot more of these half and thirds of body parts here. So seeing the arms are either full arms ending with, oh, they've got small peg holes in them, so that's quite nice. I will attempt to get some better shots of these sprues, but it looks like we've got actual small peg holes in the arms as well. So I don't know if you built the cafe guys, but some of those were an absolute nightmare just for trying to figure out if the angle was right on the minis. Right, let's have a quick look at the horses. We'll have a look at the build instructions. So sprue wise, that's 2 of the same. I'm going to plop them up there a sec. that's 2 of the same. So again, it's 3 sprues, 3 separate. Yeah, they're the same. So let's take them away a second as well. So that'll leave us with only individual sprues. Now these guys were flails, cavalry spears, or throwing spears, I want to say. And I built all of my standard horsemen with flails before. I'm undecided on what these guys are going to have. They may end up with cav spears. Right, head check. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to do that to all 3 sprues really quickly before I forget. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh, there's some really cool bearded ones on there. Because you have to. 10, 11, 12, 13. Possibly 13 heads. I'm going to say that these guys are very much all incredibly limited in posing options. I refuse to use the word monopose because people tell me off for saying it. Standard bearers there. There are some pretty cool shields. The shields actually are slightly smaller than the Marauder shields as well, so that's cool. The shield arms have got a nice flat area on there where the shields are going, so that's cool. That's much nicer than the old style of how to put the bloody shields on them. Yeah, okay. They're pretty cool. What I'll do is I'll take some decent, semi-decent actual images. I'll add them onto the video, and then we'll just to give you an idea, a better idea, just in case. I don't think GWs have shared the sprue images up just yet, but we'll take a look. Right, I did want to see. Now I might zoom back out for this. I did want to have a quick look. Ooh, headsman shield. So there is actually a shield there that specifically says for the unit champ, so that's cool. The champion, standard bearer, musician. Well, in fact, musician's a drummer. I'm going to pull this up a tiny bit. There we go. Right, so just having a look to see if the champ. So, oh, there's that skull with the sword there. That's what I was talking about. So it sits over his shoulder. So there's only what 1, 2, 3. There's only a couple pieces. They actually might be really simple to get built up, but sure, I don't care. I actually don't care that they look like they're very limited in. I mean, I say limited; they're non-existent in posability. I mean, that command group is literally that's what you're building. Yeah, even it says that ×2. So let's have a look at the Marauders. So Chaos Marauders with hand weapons and shields. Again, nice and simple builds. I'm gonna switch. Apologies if this is too quick, but what I really want to see is ×2. They do look really cool like that. I really want to see. So up to the Chaos Marauder 10 there. This is still hand weapons and shields. Right, so great weapons. So great weapons and flail. So that's your option. So they do actually show you which one goes with which on there. Now they look class, but how would you run them? This is, apologies, interesting because okay, so it's interesting because I don't want to. I'm not going to moan about posability options. Sod it. No, I can't. They look too cool. Honestly, I think like the rank and file. They look like they're going to look badass together. The pictures just on the box look amazing, and the walk-on articles look so good. So no, I'm not going to complain. Not taking any no complaints. Okay, let's have a look at the horseman. So flails, spears and shields. What's the other option? Oh, right. I'm assuming, yeah, spear and shield, and you just say if they're throwing spear, cav or not. I'm gonna have to do spears, aren't I? They just look cool. Plus, I've got all of the old ones with flails. God, these ones are going to be really nice to build as well, by the look of it. So I may end up tacking on a video on this just to compare them against the old ones. So I'll do just a quick look through on this one here, and then we'll add in some sprue pics. But then I think I'll do a comparison in a second. I'll quickly build some off camera. I'll build like a horseman and one of the command. I'll build I'll build both the head takers for both the champs for both the standard marauders and the horseman, because that's really cool. Yeah, like it. Right. Okay, I'll build a couple up and then I'll be right back. Okay, well, I'm back. Switched cameras because needed to, because they, well, just didn't look right. So I built both the champs, one for the horseman and one for the marauders. I will move them in a second because I brought the old duders out as well. So one thing I will say, building the new guy, so good. Like, I couldn't find any mold lines. He looks amazing, especially when you compare him to his old counterpart, his little He-Man counterpart. Yeah, it's a night and day difference, isn't it? That is just ridiculous. These guys are going to end up just being turned into chaff, skirmish berserkers, or I don't know, boxed and never used again. Who knows? But damn, that's a bit of a difference, wouldn't you say? Crazy, absolute craziness. So yeah, love. Yeah, you just go there. Yeah, absolutely love it. Good build. All of the contact points to cut off on the sprues are all easily hidden, or easily just to like scrape off with my little dull knife. Not dull enough to not wreck my glove. Bloody casual he wore. But yeah, amazing. So cool. And then as for the horseman, a bit more faffy. Possibly like, I mean, just the actual dude himself on top. It was almost cafe building level of faffness, but it was still okay. Again, contact points are all well hidden. He's awesome looking. This is the champ version. Glue's still wet, so I apologise for the snail trails that are on him. I will have a quick look over him while he is still damp, though, just to make sure that none of that slipped, because I say that shield arm was a pain in the ass to get on. And the hand is a small contact point as well. Pretty sure the head's sitting where it should be, but super good, especially when compared to the old ones. Bit of a difference, wouldn't you say? Just a bit. Obviously, this one's not got a flail, but another huge difference. So I think these guys are going to end up as just normal Marauder horsemen, and these guys will be the... I think they were Huskarls. I can't remember. I might be saying the wrong thing. But yeah. Oh my god. So much better. So good. Massively impressed. So while I got this camera out, I will quickly do some stills for the sprues. And I will probably voice over and just compare, just to have a quick change, see what's changed on the unit description. Unit descriptions, because they've both got new profiles in the new little book. There's new profiles in the little book and some other bits and pieces. I won't go through it all, but I just want to have a look. But I'll show you some slightly better versions of the sprues. Okay, so I managed to rip the mic out of my laptop, so I'm doing this a different way. So hopefully it doesn't sound too different. But here's the pictures of the sprues. I thought I'll leave these on screen while I quickly have a look and see the differences in the rules So in the new book, the new little arcane journal, which is the Raising of Westerland, Chaos Marauders and the Marauder Horsemen's profiles are changed. So it actually says that these replace the rules given on page 62 of the Ravening Hordes book. So Marauders, now they haven't changed in points. They're still 6 points and 7 points for the chieftain, although he's called the headman now. They have changed base size. They're 30 by 30 mil instead of 25 by 25. And equipment, the old ones only came with hand weapons. The new ones come with hand weapons and light armor. So technically they're cheaper technically if you're going to run them with shields. With light armor. They still can take great weapons or flails. And then the entire unit may take shields for 1 point. Now they don't have the ability now to replace their Mark of Chaos Undivided with Khorne, Nurgle, Slanesh, each. They now get to belong to a single chaotic cult. You have the cult of the Bloodied Hand, the cult of the Carrion Crow, cult of the Slithering Serpent, and the cult of the Foul Raptor. So, yeah, they still get the Mark of Chaos Undivided, but they then also get to pick one of the chaotic cults. I may quickly say what those cults are in a minute. And then we've got Marauder Headman can purchase magic items up to 25 points. They still get to have full command. And then 0 to 1 unit per 1,000 points may have the Ambusher special rule for 1 point per model. Replace Close Order with Skirmishers for free. Replace Close Order special rule with Open Order for free. And purchase a magic standard up to 50 points. So that's pretty cool. They can, obviously, that's, an addition that they can actually take a magic standard. So, and their special rules are Close Order, Horde, Mark of Chaos, Undivided, Shield War, and Warband. So I think that's cool. The fact that light armor is now included in their profile as well. I like that. As for the Marauder Horsemen, they're actually the same as well. So they also, same points. They come with light armor, hand weapons, and shields. So in the old profile, it was just hand weapons and light armor. So your shields are free on them as well. Free for them. Still get cavalry spears, throwing spears, or flails. They no longer get the option for throwing axes or javelins. They do, sorry, that's a lie. They just don't get javelins anymore. So they can have throwing axes for 1 point per model. They've got the option to take their cult, and they obviously keep their Chaos Undivided keyword. So they can take the Bloody Hound, Carrion Crow, Slithering Serpent, or Fell Raptor. They get the Marauder Horsemaster, that's the champion. He can have magic items up to 25 points. And 0 to 1 units per 1,000 points can have ambushers for 1 point per model. Replace Open Order rule with Skirmishers for free. And they can purchase a magic standard up to 50 points. So yeah, pretty cool. So they did also add things like chaotic traits into the book, and then there's new items and bits and pieces like that. I'm not going to go through them. But the Cults of Chaos, I will just quickly say, Cult of the Bloody Hand is +1 to weapon skill. Cult of the Carrion Crow, that gives a +1 to their toughness. Cult of the Slithering Serpent, they gain the poison attack special rule. And Cult of the Fell Raptor, they get a 6-up ward save against any wounds suffered that was caused by a non-magical enemy attack. So yeah, that's the cults that you get to pick now, instead of changing their mark from Undivided. There's a new lore in there as well, called Lore of the Shadowlands, so a bunch of spells. Again, not going to go over it. And they've got all of the Shadowlands magic items are in that book as well. So yeah, I thought really, really cool. Really excited to carry on with my Wolves of the Sea. And then we'll see how far we get. Now I need to go off and buy a new mic. So yeah, yay me. And do all the things, like, subscribe, follow. I'm going to try and get them built up. We'll try and maybe paint up quite a lot of the Chaos Marauders over the next few days. If I'm not painting Star Wars Legion, that is. So yeah, hope you enjoyed. Do all the things. Love you, bye.